Alright, I'm gonna do this for the second time because I made it first. Because the first time I made a 7-minute video that had no sound at all, and you couldn't hear my beautiful voice. Great. This chapter was about infotech. So, first thing we covered during this chapter was the computer mediated communication. So CMC for short. It is it's just communication between two people through digital means like email, Facebook, Snapchat, social media. It doesn't matter. Digitally mediated. Um, Messages will bounce off satellites in order to get to their destination. Um, guess that, and we have become overly reliant upon CMC, which I agree with. But at the same time, it's so much more efficient than sending a letter through the post office or a carrier pigeon. I don't know. Those probably don't exist anymore, but um, most data is read by the computer through the use of binary. Binary is ones and zeros. This is most common computer language. It, if not the only one, really. I know there's different kinds of programming, but that is completely different. Talked about local area networks landline. That used to be your telephone. Um, now we use LAN cables in all of our internet. Uh, I have a computer set up over there that doesn't use Wi-Fi. It just uses a LAN cable and it goes into the router. Pointing. Wide area network. Then we talked about internet and how it was developed by the U.S. government or defense to run things more efficiently, all that kind of good stuff. The World Wide Web was then introduced. Cookies, talked about cookies. Basically, it's something that you accept when you first go to a website so that website will then remember your device that you're using. Doesn't make a big difference to me. It's just the way it is. Not a big computer guy anyway. We talked about e-commerce, so like credit cards and digital transactions, whatnot. There was four different kinds: business to business, suppliers to other businesses. So my mom used to own a restaurant. She would buy from Cisco, something like that, and then the next, and then they would supply our business, and then we could do the next form of transaction, which would be business to consumer. I know it's digital, but credit cards, whatnot. Um, so yeah, we would just sell them food. Even shopping on Amazon is business to consumer, and then consumer to consumer would be bidding on stuff like an auction, such as eBay. eBay is probably the best example for that. And then info retrieval services, brought up in the book very briefly. And also, we were talking about how your wrestlers back in the day would just throw their change away whenever they went out to eat. I have like a jar full of change over there. It's probably got around $50 in it. But anyway, I also during class I brought up the fact that I thought that e-commerce was safer, only because things have changed with credit cards. I feel. So like if your information gets stolen and that person wants to buy something extremely stupid, um, your credit card company will probably like not cancel it but pause the transaction and call you to make sure that it was you that made that purchase. Um, also, and also you can now, like, if you lose your wallet and you just don't, and you know you have your cards in there, you can call up your service and just pause the card to make sure it's not active. And let's see what else about the card. I just wanted to argue that during class, but I didn't think we really had the time, and I kind of hate arguing or with our special someone who sits in the back, but I I also don't feel as if I know a lot about it myself, so I'm not comfortable with it. But that's all it is. Um, and then later we talked about like in-person classes and online classes, basically just commuting to online commuting and whatnot. Um, Personally, after going through Colby Community College, I hate online classes. I made sure that when I got to Fort Hays that I would never take an online class because it's horrendous. One of my classes that I had to take was just unguided, and I felt so confused. I didn't know how to do some of these assignments, that it just wasn't very fleshed out. But anyway, um, in person, I just like to meet new people. I like to converse. I like to participate, even though it doesn't look like it. Just not sure sometimes about my answers. And sometimes there's hands on activities, which will be more fun. Um, and it's just less distraction. Like you're in that classroom, how what distractions do you have? I mean, sure, I could probably get on my phone, but I try not to do that. That's just disrespectful. Um, Also, if you were on online classes, I'll give it the benefit that it's convenient, but it's more expensive, and I'm just fine walking to class in 20-degree weather with shorts on. I don't care. Just as long as the wind's not blowing, I'll be okay. Um, I mean, and yeah, the internet's great, but I could so live without it. I don't need a whole lot of it. Uh, Compared, I only need three things. I need food, water, and shelter. I don't need a laptop. I don't need to hide behind that or behind this. I'm using it right now. So, anyway, catch you later.